I flirted to dodge a ticket. The officer wrote a number and a café. It all started when I was driving back from my best friend's wedding. It had been an amazing celebration, full of laughter, love, and dance. My heart was still swelling with joy when I caught sight of flashing red and blue lights behind me. Ugh, really? I groaned as I pulled over to the side of the road. My hand shook slightly as I dug through my purse for my license and insurance card. The last thing I wanted was a speeding ticket on top of the wedding expenses. The officer approached my car, his expression stern but fair. "Ma'am, do you know why I pulled you over?" he asked, I scanning my license before returning to meet mine. "No, sir," I replied, trying to muster a smile. I was just excited to get back home and start another amazing chapter of my life. His expression softened slightly, but his eyes remained focused. "I clocked you at 85 in a 65 zone, ma'am. That's why I pulled you over." My heart sank, but I knew he was right. I took a deep breath and tried to think of something to say before he wrote me up. "Well, officer." I trailed off, trying to come up with a clever comeback. "Higgins," he supplied, his eyes crinkling at the corners as he smiled slightly. "Well, Officer Higgins, maybe if you had been following me from behind instead of passing me and then catching up, I wouldn't have felt the need to speed so much," I suggested flirtatiously, hoping it would help lighten the situation. His smile grew, and he tilted his head to one side as he considered my words. "That's a valid point, ma'am. But you still need to be more careful." "I promise I will, Officer Higgins," I said, batting my eyelashes at him. "But maybe next time, we can just exchange numbers and skip the formalities?" His eyes widened slightly, and he cleared his throat before answering. "That's not how this works, ma'am." I sighed dramatically, leaning back in my seat. "Fine, then. I guess I'll just have to remember your name next time I'm in your jurisdiction." His cheeks flushed a slight pink, and he coughed into his hand before speaking. "Well, I hope you'll think of me fondly, ma'am." As he handed me my license and insurance card, he wrote down a number on the back of the ticket. "This is my direct line at the station. Give me a call if you ever need anything." I smiled sweetly as I took the paper from him. "I just might do that, Officer Higgins. Have a great day." As he walked back to his cruiser, I couldn't help but feel a thrill of excitement coursing through me. The encounter had been flirty and fun, exactly what I needed after such an emotional weekend. Little did I know that it was only the beginning of a playful, flirtatious game between Officer Higgins and me. Over the next few weeks, I found myself calling his direct line more often than not. We'd chat about everything from traffic updates to local events, all while maintaining that playful banter we'd started during our first encounter. One day, he suggested we meet for coffee at a quaint little cafe in town. My heart raced at the prospect of seeing him again, but I tried to play it cool as I replied, "Sure, when and where?" He laughed over the phone. "How about tomorrow at 11? The Blue Rose Cafe sounds perfect." I agreed, my excitement growing with each passing minute. As I sipped my coffee and waited for him to arrive, I couldn't help but feel a mix of anticipation and nervous energy. What would our meeting be like? Would it be just as flirty in person as it had been over the phone? Finally, he walked in, looking every bit as handsome as I remembered. "Rizz," he greeted me with a warm smile, his eyes crinkling at the corners. "Officer Higgins," I replied, trying to keep my composure. "It's been too long." He chuckled and pulled out a chair across from me. "So tell me, Rizz, what brings you here today?" I leaned back in my seat, crossing my legs elegantly. "Well, Officer Higgins, I couldn't resist the chance to see you again." His eyes widened slightly, and he laughed. I must admit, the feeling is mutual. We spent the next hour chatting, laughing, and flirting as if we were old friends who had just reconnected after years apart. It was easy and comfortable, a perfect blend of playful banter and genuine conversation. As the hours passed, I couldn't help but feel a growing sense of connection with him. When it was time to leave, he walked me to my car, his hand gently resting on the small of my back. "I had a great time today, Rizz," he said softly. I looked up into his eyes, my own heart swelling with emotion. Me too, Officer Higgins. I really hope we can do this again soon. He smiled down at me, his hand sliding up to cup my cheek gently. I'd like that more than anything. With that, he leaned in and kissed me softly, a sweet and tender moment that left us both breathless. As he pulled away, I knew that our flirtatious game had turned into something much deeper and more meaningful. And as we exchanged numbers once again, I couldn't help but feel a sense of hope and excitement for what the future held for us.